doing a spotlight and analysis report on Freedom Forever Solar. For those of you who are based in Utah, Freedom Forever's HQ is located in Lehi. This small company that began relatively recently has recently grown into one of the largest solar providers. And fortunately for me, through a family friend, I actually had the opportunity to go tour their headquarters, be taken around, interview them, and ask a few questions about some of the problems they faced, as well as some of the things they've been doing great at. One of my favorite things about Freedom Forever is their Instagram page. You'll see scattered throughout this presentation a few memes that I find funny, so please enjoy them. These are all credited to their Instagram page, and you can go follow that to get some more funny solar memes. How it all began. Freedom Forever was started in 2011 and focused on residential solar installations with a 25-year performance guarantee. This ensured system reliability and homeowner compensation for production shortfalls. This may not seem like a big deal, but at the time, many homeowners were struggling with the fact that they felt like if something happened to their panels or they would break, they would be on the hook or on the line for those issues with warranty problems. Freedom Forever came in and they said, hey, we'll just guarantee it. If your panels break, we'll make sure we're covering your cost of the bill that month so you don't have to be stressed. This stress-free approach to solar resulted in dramatic exponential growth. Along with some strong ratings from the BBB, as well as some partnerships with large solar providers like Sunrun, Freedom Forever actually this year installed over 300 megawatts of solar, which was about 50,000 homes. Last year, they accounted as the third largest solar provider and installation company in America. Once again, please take a second to pause this video if you are interested in taking a look at some of these funny memes. So, culture was one of the big things we talked about at Freedom Forever. Their company has done extremely well with growing an aggressive push, almost a push at all cost approach to expand to new markets, install as many homes as possible. I will say this, most companies and most solar companies don't install 300 megawatts of solar and become the third largest solar provider in America in just 10 years without having to push some boundaries. Unfortunately, that's had some interesting effects on the Freedom Forever culture, and prior to my actual interview with them, I had the opportunity to do some research. Currently, Freedom Forever has been embroiled in multiple lawsuits. The lawsuits you can see on the top left of the page. Ewing versus Freedom Forever, Barack versus Freedom Forever, as well as a number of others. These tend to highlight customer concerns about lack of responsiveness, misinformed sales representations, and I actually had the opportunity to dive into Freedom Forever's perspective on these issues. Freedom Forever has a big staff of customer service representatives, but unfortunately not quite large enough to handle a burgeoning customer base. At first, when the job is just installing panels, it's not as concerning. But then all of a sudden, you're now dealing with maintaining and upholding your customer agreements for tens of thousands of homes scattered across 20 states. As I wrote here, during my visit to Freedom Forever's headquarters, I delved into the contrast between their celebrated corporate culture, which involves company trips to Hawaii, free lunches, ping pong tables, and a really fun office space, and the recent legal issues they've been facing from their sales teams. I asked them how such a company known for its ethical practices and inclusive employee environment is navigating the challenge of these lawsuits. They acknowledge this disconnect and said they're committed to bridging this gap. They emphasize the need for more assertive communication and alignment between corporate values and sales tactics. This was obviously huge. I actually had the opportunity as part of my research project to go and take a look at over 50 different complaints that were posted on BBB. If you look at the left, I turned that on an Excel sheet into a pie chart going over the most common causes of these complaints. And out of the 50 complaints that we read, 32% were from customer service issues and 16% were from sales issues. Granted, some might say, well, why are you talking so much about sales? but many of the customer service issues were directly related to feeling like they were misinformed or misrepresented by sales representatives. I actually showed them this pie chart and they were pleasantly surprised. Not that I'm obviously doing much that's new for them. They obviously have a lot of teams and people that are very concerned about their customers. But we were able to talk about the need to align their sales with their corporate environment so that they have a bottom to top down approach with a streamlined, customer focused approach where sales representatives and the corporate perspective are on the same side. Obviously, the company doesn't want to be embroiled in any more lawsuits, and to make sure they can upkeep and handle their growth, which is doubling almost every year, this is something that needs to take place immediately. I'm actually, towards the end of my presentation, going to go through some suggestions that I actually was able to walk through with a Freedom Forever representative as part of my interview with them, and I'll go over them with you as well. This is a picture of me at their headquarters. It was actually really fun looking around a solar HQ because, first of all, at the time, I did not know how many different solar panels there were. I had the opportunity to go and pick up, hold, review, look at probably a dozen different types of panels. Some are more expensive, some are cheaper. One of the crazy parts was they actually gave me a baseball at one point, and I was able to throw a baseball at a SunPower solar panel, and I threw the baseball as hard as I could and didn't even make a crack. This is one of the main things that Freedom Forever said makes them unique. They're committed to quality and cost savings. When I sat down with the team at Freedom Forever, I was eager to learn about some of these partnerships with Sunrun and other large solar providers that have been game changers for them. They shared their excitement about these collaborations, highlighting as a testament to their commitment to quality. Not only do they want to install a large amount of systems, but they want to install them with the best panels that a 24-year-old man can throw a baseball at and won't even make a dent or a scratch on these things. They also touched on how in just 11 years they've expanded to 20 states. They offer financing options from loans, cash, to something called a PPA, which stands as a power purchase agreement. These power purchase agreements allow Freedom Forever to provide solar to people that may not have as good credit scores or may not be in the means to take out loans for their solar panels but still want to benefit from the savings. In other words, I think one of the things I found to be most unique about Freedom Forever is they're not just about growing their footprint, they're about trying to make sure that the customers that they're installing are going to have panels working on their house for decades. And this is ultimately going to help them and the world move closer to its green energy goals. Enjoy this nice little picture of me holding up a panel. Those panels are surprisingly light. I was able to hold it up on my own despite how heavy they look. So, like I said earlier, I do have a few strategic recommendations. I don't have a ton of time, so I'm just going to run through some of these. Number one, Freedom Forever should establish a project management protocol to minimize installation delays and improve customer communication. This will help with a lot of the customer concerns, as we showed in the pie chart. That was obviously making up a bulk of the issues. If we can streamline a project management system so that people post-installation feel taken care of, I think they're going to see their BBB ratings continue to improve. Obviously, like I was saying earlier, sales pushiness or aggressiveness have provided a big issue, and so providing a training program for customer service representatives will equip them with the skills needed to improve efficiency in resolving issues. Implementing an installation quality assurance process will help identify and resolve any technical problems promptly after installation. So my time touring the Freedom Forever headquarters and researching them online provided many profound business insights. For a company that is still relatively young, their aggressive domination of solar markets is notable and super impressive. They were extremely kind and courteous to me as I toured their facility, allowing me to literally throw a baseball at a $1,000 solar panel. But I believe as they implement some of my suggestions and they take into heart their consideration, they will become an immutable presence in the solar industry and help progress the world towards its transition to green energy.